Hi, I'm Holly,
And I'm Charisse.
and we want to welcome you to our Ask Mom series today.
Welcome.
Welcome. Which is on what products do we use for our periods? So we have a few samples here. Certainly not a, complete list of everything that we use.
Right.
But some ideas on how to read packaging and how to know what's right for you.
Great.
Do you want to start?
Sure. I think under my cabinet at home, you'll find a variety pack of things. I think because there's going to be days that are heavier, days that are lighter, days that are medium, so you have to kind of have across the board. Tampax, for the tampons, they sell a package that has like so many slenders, so many regulars, so many supers, and that's a good starter thing to have. Because you might not need all of, so many slenders and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, two types of Tampax that you can buy, the cardboard applicator or the pearl. Or is it just plastic?
Plastic.
Is pearl the next step up?
I think it's just one of their varieties that's supposed to be absorbent.
The plastic ones are a little bit easier.
They just glide in easier.
In
general, I go for comfort. I want to be able to get in and out of the bathroom quickly.
Yes.
So I feel like with the plastic ones you can do that, but obviously some people don't like plastic.
And you can recycle the cardboard.
And so anyway, every box of tampons is going to come with wording on it that tells you how absorbent it is. So, and it also will indicate, obviously, if it's more absorbent, there is more little twirly cotton in there that goes inside of you, right? So the slender regulars are very thin and narrow, and so a great one to try for your first time when you're trying to figure out how to put a tampon in. Don't try to put a super plus. Your first time when you're learning, just use slender regulars, and obviously you'll have to change them more frequently because it's like having a little tiny Band-Aid on your finger.
But you might or might not, because if you don't have a heavy flow when you're first starting anyways, it might be something that's perfect for you.
That's true. And then so usually what I will do is use on my first couple of days during my cycle, on my heaviest days, so maybe my first 3 days, I'll use supers. That's what I do. And then as it starts to taper off throughout the week, I'll go to regulars, and then usually regulars will sort of hold me until I feel like it's nearly done. And then, maybe I'll use a panty liner for a few days after I think it's done, just to make sure that it doesn't decide to sneak back up on me.
I am always aware of when my cycle is coming. I mark it down. And so maybe a couple days before I will use a light day too, for added protection.
Right.
These are the ones that I
pull one out so that
I really, really like. This is an Always brand, and it's thin. They're so super thin.
So it really is paper thin. I mean,
Did you want me to take it out?
Yeah, maybe take it out just so that they can see. So this is a staple. You need to have this all the time because they're just useful. A lot of girls write in asking us about discharge and is their discharge okay, or are they...
Look how thin that is.
It is so thin. And so... You're tired?
Can't see. You could use it as
a nap.
Say there's a piñata party and they need a blindfold.
That is so smart.
It sticks.
Oh
I can't see anything.
We have got to use that.
I can't see anything.
We've got to use that for a piñata.
Okay.
That is genius. I love it.
Anyways, and it
many
doesn't really
uses.
hurt coming off. You can exfoliate with it.
And if you start to cry, you know it's going to catch your tears.
You can use it like this. Super
Yes.
absorbent.
Absorbent and thin and practical.
When it's super, then back to the real thing. Sometimes they make these with the wings. I haven't found that I've needed them. If I'm super light, I don't need them with the wings.
Yeah.
So
I hear
that
you.
just goes like that.
Well, so anyway, if you have...
Do you want me to still hold it up?
I think you're good. If there are times in your month when you feel like you kind of have like discharge that's on your underwear and it grosses you out or you just don't like it, just wear these. And then, a couple times a day, throw it out and put a new one in, and you'll just feel fresher. And then like Charisse said, it's also just great protection on those days when you're either really heavy and you've got, your tampon in and you know you're gonna have to change it really frequently and you just wanna make sure you're safe. You can have that in your underwear or even just a thin pad like this one.
But it's thicker than...
So this is still, this is thicker for sure. But if you're having a very, very heavy day and you want to make sure you don't leak, then you can use something like this, which you can see is still really thin, but is, wider and longer.
And this one has the wings.
And this one has the wings. Yes, go ahead.
Want me to show the wings?
Go ahead and show the wings. So you set it, your underwear is probably around your knees, and you set this into your underwear, and then the wings wrap around to the bottom side of your underwear. Can we see that? Do that one more time. To the underside of your underwear. And then...
Hold on to it for a minute, because it's flying away, because it's got the wings. I took the wing packaging off.
I get it.
Okay, good.
So this one is really absorbent. I really like this pad. This is an always ultra thin, and then here it says slender. Make sure my head's in. Oh, slender petites, and I like it because it is narrow here. Some pads can be very wide, and you feel like I'm walking like this because. It's just too wide in your underwear. This is like exactly the width of the inside of your underwear. And so you won't feel like you've got a lot of extra pad to deal with. So I like these a lot. Therese, do you have some ideas?
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is a new product that Tampax has out, but I've recently discovered it. It must be new because I think they put it in their boxes. If you have a super heavy flow, like I have experienced in the past few years, this tampon is huge. Huge. And when I pulled it out, it's like, oh my gosh, that thing's huge.
So it's hard to...
It is huge.
Maybe we have a normal tampon.
It's going to be hard to see on the thing.
So
that's a regular.
A regular, and this is... So it's double.
It's like a thumb compared to a pinky.
That's exactly what it is.
Let's do that.
This is a thumb. Maybe even slightly rounder and bigger than a thumb. And this is more like, I don't know, pointer. I think it's more like a pointer.
Okay, but this is, so if you have a heavy flow, and some people do, and if you're in school, this matched up with what Holly had, or I used the yellow version, which I don't have the packaging on it, so I'm not really sure what it is, but it's an always, and it has wings. But these two together on super heavy will get you through a good, 3 or 4 hours. Don't know how some people are worse. But anyways, yeah. So these two is what I use on a super, super heavy day.
Okay.
And I love it because I don't have to think oh my gosh, I need to change in an hour.
Right.
So I love it.
And so if you weren't using this, I'm trying to help people discern how heavy they are. Mm-hmm. If you didn't use this, how often would you have to change a super, which is like a step down?
Super is a step down, and
on your heavy days.
Maybe I would get 2 more hours out of this.
Okay.
Okay, and Tampax gives packaging in each of which I've consistently thrown away now that I know how to use it.
Yeah, I never keep it either, but yeah, that's a good point.
Okay,
yeah,
so
right
they show you, so you could go
how
through
to use it. Most girls, so as long as it says this says long super always. You know that's going to be pretty darn long. It's going to go up your behind. Apparently there are ones that are even longer that really will go from the waistband in the front to the top of the waistband in the back. And honestly, who really cares? And they're still pretty thin, as long as you don't feel like you've got a big stinking mess to clean up in the morning.
That's so true.
Just get what you need. So I don't know if they'll sell those in your store, if you need to look at them up online. That might be another way to do that.
I have for nighttime, I have these Always Ultra Thins. I don't know if you can see the packaging. Let me turn it this way. And it actually says overnight on it. And they're pretty long. On the Always packages, they'll show you the small, medium, and large. So I just went ahead and get the long one, like Holly was saying. And it's overnight, so I think that kind of maybe...
Your own experience, but hopefully this will be something to start with. And if you have not had your period yet, but you think you probably will in the next year or so, it would be a really good idea to get the supplies that you think you need. So you might want to get,
Start with these. If you're just starting...
Great. The liners are
great,
and particularly if you're scared about starting and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to start, I know this year, and what am I going to do if I'm at school? Okay, this is 120 of these. You can wear them all day long, and
yeah, that's so true.
I think maybe this cost $4. Seriously. So you may have to buy 2 of these in a whole year. And you would know every day when you went to school that if something happened, something started, you would be protected till you could get to a bathroom. You're not going to have any weird accidents. And plus, like we've talked before, in the first probably 2 or 3 months that you have your cycle, it's going to be not much more than sort of brown discharge for the first, at least for sure the first month, and maybe even the second month for 2 or 3 days. And then you'll probably go, oh, that's strange, it's colored brown. And then by the next month, you'll start your period, which might be 1 or 2 days of a very light flow. So nothing's going to gush, run down your leg. You can be assured of that in your first few months of having your period. It'll take a long time to get regular too, like we've talked about. So, and you'll want to buy one of these, probably in a variety pack. But
Variety
if you
pack. Start with the variety pack.
And if you think that maybe, maybe you're not going to use them, just get them anyway. Just get a pack, have them there, just in case you decide, what if you start the month you decide you want to go to the swim party? It might be good to know how to use a tampon. So, and then, let's see. So the basics would be the liner, a variety pack of tampons, and some kind of overnight pad, and then something until you're ready to use tampons, or if you just are not in the mood to use tampons, you really just want to use a pad, something like the Slender Petite Always Thins that you can just wear, and you don't need to wear a tampon if you're using that and you don't want to use tampons yet. That's just fine. When you're ready is when you use tampons. So feel free to email us if you have any questions at hollysharice@yahoo.com. And you feel free to share us on Facebook or Twitter for any of your friends that might want some period information. Here we are. We're here to give it.
We're the period girls.
Period girls. Cheers.
Cheers.